I can't believe I made such a stupid mistake on that project. I'm so incompetent. I am so lazy. I can't believe that I have not been able to stick to my workout plan. I'll never get in shape. You know, they say treatment is easy, yet I'm not doing it, so I must be an idiot. Do you think that these statements are helpful or harmful? I mean, saying them every once in a while is okay, right? Wrong. Our brain takes note of self-criticism, and what we know is that the way we think is going to be the way that we feel. Hey, I'm Nathan Peterson, licensed therapist, helping you with your mental health journey. Self-criticism can be a difficult and destructive habit, but with the right strategies, it is possible to overcome it and learn to be kinder and more compassionate towards yourself. First, let's define what self-criticism actually is. It is the act of judging and criticizing oneself. Doi. Often in an overly harsh or negative way. It can manifest as negative self-talk, perfectionism, and inability to accept mistakes or failures. Self-criticism can have serious negative effects on our well-being, including low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, and even physical health problems. It can hold us back from achieving our goals and living a fulfilling life. It may not seem that way. You know, a little comment here, a little comment there. Self-criticism is a common behavior that many people engage in, but it is not always helpful or healthy. So then why the heck do we do it? Here are a few possible reasons. Number one, to motivate ourselves. Some people use self-criticism as a way to motivate themselves to improve or to do better. They believe that if they are hard on themselves, it will push them to work harder and strive for perfection. However, this approach can often backfire, as self-criticism can lead to low self-esteem, anxiety, and other negative emotions that can actually hinder our performance. It's a trap. Number two, to cope with stress or failure. Self-criticism can also be a way to cope with our stress or our failures. When we are facing difficult challenges or experiencing setbacks, it can be tempting to blame ourselves and engage in self-criticism as a way to try to make sense of what went wrong. However, this approach is not productive. It can actually make things worse by adding to our stress and undermining our confidence. It's a trap. Number three, to meet social expectations. Some people may also use self-criticism as a way to fit in or meet the expectations of others. They may believe that they need to be hard on themselves in order to be seen as successful or worthy. However, this can be damaging to our well-being and can lead to an unhealthy need for approval from others. Overall, self-criticism is a negative and unhelpful behavior that can have serious consequences for our well-being and happiness. While it may sometimes seem like a useful tool, it is important to learn healthier and more compassionate ways to cope with stress and challenges. So how can we learn to deal with self-criticism and replace it with more helpful, supportive thoughts and behavior? Well, here's what we're gonna do. Number one, identify your self-critical thoughts. The first step to dealing with self-criticism is to become aware of it. Do you even know you're doing it? Pay attention to your internal dialogue and notice when you are being overly critical or judgmental of yourself. You may even ask someone else to help you. Write down your self-critical thoughts and try to identify any patterns or triggers. Number two, practice self-compassion. Yeah, that's what this is all about, Nate. Instead of judging and criticizing yourself, try to be understanding and kind towards yourself. Remember that everyone makes mistakes and everyone has flaws. It is normal to be human and have weaknesses. Try saying kind and supportive things to yourself as you would to a friend. And I even say, boast about yourself. I know we've been taught not to boast, but share your successes with others. Let other people know about it. Number three, challenge negative beliefs. Often self-criticism is based on negative beliefs about ourselves, such as I'm not good enough, I always mess these things up. These beliefs are not always accurate, and they can be changed. Try to identify the underlying beliefs behind your self-criticism and challenge them. You can actually come up with some evidence that probably prove that they're incorrect. So, okay, I'm not good enough. Can I actually prove this thought? And I mean it. Like, I need to look for every instance in my life that shows me that I'm just not good enough. I could probably find some things here and there that might prove some of this evidence, but I bet you could find 99% of the time where it's incorrect. Usually when we go down this road, we realize it's a bunch of baloney. If we can't prove it, we can't feel it. And if you're feeling it, even though you can't prove it, it's an error message. Stop falling for the error messages. We don't have to listen to them every single time they pop up. Instead, we learn to give ourselves more grace for living life. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, I might say, I really felt like I struggled on this project, and what am I gonna learn from it? I'm not happy about it, but I know I can do better in the future. I built myself up, I recognized that I didn't do as well as I wanted to, but it's not an all or nothing type of deal. I want people to make mistakes because I want them to learn from them. That's what this life is all about. And we also don't need to call other people out for their mistake. That's the problem with our world sometimes. Let people make mistakes. Number 4, set realistic goals and expectations. Perfectionism can be a major contributor to self-criticism. Try to set goals and expectations that you can actually achieve. They've got to be realistic. Remember that it is okay to make mistakes, and that progress and learning often come through trial and error. I really like short, realistic goals, like something I can achieve today. Our brain needs to learn that we can overcome hard things daily. Number 5, seek support. Dealing with self-criticism can be challenging, and it can be helpful to seek support from friends, family, mental health professionals. A therapist or counselor can help you work through these negative thought patterns. Self-criticism can be a difficult habit to break, but it is possible by practicing and by persistence. Becoming aware of our thoughts are important. Practicing self-compassion is important. Challenging our negative beliefs, setting realistic goals, expectations, and seeking support to be kinder to ourselves. This is how you can start today. You might take the time to write down all those negative thoughts you're having throughout the day. Whether you said them out loud, whether they're in your head. You might be surprised how many times you come up with something. All I wanted was ice cream today and I went to McDonald's and the machine was broken. Why does that always happen to me? Guess what? That didn't just happen to you. That happened to the other 100+ cars today. Why are you taking all the blame? Come on. Challenge the thought. If you go along your day with that kind of mindset, you're gonna notice more and more and more negative stuff. We got to be kinder to ourselves and not think the whole world's out to get us. And to help you with one of the biggest unhelpful thoughts, go watch this video on how to stop catastrophizing right now. It goes through a lot of detail on how you can challenge these thoughts and live a better, happier life. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.